This is needed, trust, cooperation, knowledge, good sense, all kindness have all had to be in abundant amounts to make it all work, and we've come a long, long way.
That I've known Dunsink since the 1980s. It started off as Dunsink Dump, it became Dunsink Tiphead, it progressed to Dunsink Landfill. It didn't really improve at all, but we've kept feeling that if we up the name, we might be able to up the ante slightly. We then moved on to Dunsink Waste Disposal Facility, and last but not least, it ended up as Dunsink Waste Management Facility. I recall writing a paper on Dunsink 15 years ago about Dunsink Landfill moving on to aftercare. Now, it's taken a long time to move on to aftercare, but it's well on the way. And the one thing about Dunsink, of all the landfills, and I was involved in the 4 major landfills in Dublin for a long number of years, my background was, for a long number of years, in waste management. The one thing about Dunsink is it always attracted entrepreneurs. So we had the entrepreneur, we were the first landfill in Ireland to start generating electricity out of landfill gas. There's always somebody ready to come along to say, I have an idea, there's something you could use some help with, and let's give it a go. And it was an outstanding success. The culmination of all these is the Horse Project, and how it's just gone in a logical and common sense manner, how it's progressed to this stage. And the very last thing I'm going to say is to the participants. One thing about me was I was absolutely useless at exams. I've a degree in engineering, but I failed every exam, I had to repeat it. But once you've got it, you've got it, and your award is for life.
I've been educated, a lot of people have been educated in the last couple of years through what's happened in Dunsink, and I think that's the key, and that's the reason we're here tonight. We decided, rather than the traditional way possibly that any horse situation was dealt with, where an authority sees horses, gets a contractor, gets rid of horses, horses come back. Authority sees horses, calls a contractor, and it goes round and round in circles. So we decided at the time, look, why don't we try and talk to people? We knew that we wanted to do something in Dunsink from the council's point of view. We wanted to look at the whole horse welfare issue and talk to the owners and see if we could come to some kind of accommodation. Until the IHWT came on board, we really didn't know how we were going to get to that. So we were sort of casting around trying to figure out how we were going to do it. And I won't forget the first day that Sharon Carey came out on site. And there were a couple of gruesome things that we actually saw there that day. But what impressed me most was these were people who did things. You know, these are people who actually do things. They don't sit around and talk about, I was going to say form a committee, but we did that later. These other places too. They actually, and on that particular day, within an hour they had done things. We saw straight away that, look, these are people we can work with. And they weren't interested in the sort of ridiculous headlines that we were seeing around the place, headlines around Ireland, all over the world. It was on the internet. All you had to do was Google Dunsink horses and you saw all kinds of nonsense. You know, thousands of horses dying is a symbol of Ireland's descent into recession, blah, blah, blah. So what we did was we started work, actual physical work, and that culminated in a day, 2 days of roundups. So we had our horse roundups where the IHWT provided the veterinary backup. With Sport Ireland were involved, all kinds of people that obviously we would never have had an input or dealings with before, but now we suddenly had those. Every single horse was rounded up. It was the first time this ever happened. We brought down to the compound. You guys did the work. So for the first time we had a list of horses, we had names, we had dates, we had, you know, conditions, we had microchips, passports. And then we started to learn all kinds of things, all kinds of phrases that I had never heard before about doing certain things to horses so that they don't do certain things to each other. But these are important things in horse management. So what we've come to today is we have a working committee. So from the council there's myself, Ted Lynch, Paul Rattigan, Paul is here at the back today. From the Irish Horse Welfare Trust is Sharon Newsom. Sharon, whose powers organisation know no bounds, and we have Debbie, of course, Debbie Johnson, and Carrie. You know, these were the people who I was going to say, they did, you know, put manners on the whole operation. You know, they organised us, they steered us, and they continue to do that. And from then the horse owners, John Murtagh and Tommy Donoghue, who I would have been speaking to regularly before this came into being, but Pat Ash, Mark Turner, John Hubbard, James Ash and Elaine Hyland. And we now, when we're down, we have a meeting every month. The decisions are made by the committee. So there's a consensus reached and there's a decision made, and we move forward on that basis. And it's a real and absolute indefinite partnership, because it's not going to work any other way. So that was the evolution of the project. So I just want to say to you guys, you're the important guys here tonight. You know, you did fantastically well. I saw you sitting in there on Mondays doing, you know, the work that you did do, the exams. So you've engaged. The education is fantastic, and what comes out of it is always going to be there for you. And the key for us is that you guys are taking responsibility. You're the guys, you know, and I was up there today and I saw the way the horses look now compared to what we saw even a few months ago. And that's a testament to that work. That's what we should all be working towards.
The FETAC Level 4 Stable and Yard Routines course that we've run at the Dunsink offices and at the IHWT farm in Wicklow has really been a huge success. The guys and the girls have now got a European qualification, which means they can go into any country basically with a qualification and work in a yard, which somebody said earlier, they'll always have that now. And we have had participants aged between 14 and 40, which is probably the first time we've ever had that, and all of them did equally well. The IHWT is extremely proud to have been involved in running this course, and we have made really great friends while doing so. Sadly, there is a waiting list to run other courses, and funding has yet to be found to continue. So we now hope that based on our combined efforts and the success we've had, that funding will come.
I really feel privileged to have been part of something that was so successful, and I feel both inspired and humbled to have participated in a project that has been and will be truly life-changing for so many and on so many different levels. The IHWT, Fingal County Council, Horsesport Ireland and the Dunsink Horse and Pony Club have made possible what many people thought to be impossible. Every person has played their part in the creation of something outstanding that can now serve as a blueprint for other communities that wish to tackle growing welfare issues without judgment and without apportioning blame. In doing something, each and every one of us here tonight has become a part of the solution. Doing nothing would have made us a part of the problem.
As you're all aware, education is crucial in improving animal welfare standards across the board. And it's this understanding that is the key to the success of the Dunsink project. We are continually, both of us are continually asked to become involved with many worthwhile causes, but sadly it's impossible for us to give aid to everyone who approaches us for help. But when we do commit to a project or a charity, we aim for it to be, we're in it for the long run. And the Dunsink Horse and Pony Club is something that we are very, very proud to support.
Seeing your horses on that landfill today looking so well, so calm and so content, and reconnecting with our new friends and also being here tonight is further proof, if it were needed, that the Dunsink project is something that should be promoted. Not only to show what can be achieved when people who share a common goal work together as a team, but to inspire people that they too can do the same. I'll be coming back to work on another idea with Sharon, because we're planning to write a novel based on the true story of the horses of Dunsink. And I'm also going to come and help teach equine workshops for the Horse and Pony Club if that's needed. I'm so pleased that Tony and Daisy were able to join me in Ireland to meet with you all. And I thank you all for allowing us to be a part of something that is so special and so unique.
I'd like to just say a few words on behalf of us all here in the Dunsink Horse and Pony Club. We're so grateful for all the help that we've received so far, especially from the Irish Horse Welfare Trust, Fingal County Council, and all the new friends that I've come to love and cherish forever, hopefully all the new friends I've made. It's been, let me go back to the start, it's been a whirlwind basically from the very start, between meeting everybody, all the horse owners and all the animals alike. It's been such a great experience on my behalf, and I'm sure everybody else. It's just an amazing story, let us say, that has just evolved. The Irish Horse Welfare Trust put on an educational programme for adults and children alike to learn how to look after their horses and ponies properly. It wasn't that they didn't love their animals. They all loved their animals very much. It was just a little help that they needed to look after their animals and to look after them properly. They got this opportunity through the Irish Horse Welfare Trust to do the examination, the FETAC level 4. They all enjoyed it thoroughly and they had a great time. There was day trips and a lot of laughing and a lot of fun, but there was also a lot of educational work being done as well.
We're all really grateful for what happened, and especially for everybody to pull together and come into it. It was brilliant. I have to say, I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure everybody else did. And a little knowledge goes a long way, and that's what we needed, like a little extra knowledge. And as the lady said, you can have a look there, and everything is looking great. It's good to see all the horses looking well and the way they should be, and we know that that's going to continue.